we're finally on Dressrosa. So One Piece 701, pretty simple chapter. There's a couple things to go into, but for the most part, there wasn't anything too major, I would say, in this particular chapter. So first of all, one of the things I want to talk about is, if you notice in the particular chapter, Law gave Nami a Vivre card, and in my experience with that from watching One Piece, if anybody watched One Piece, then you know that that's not for nothing. That Vivre card is going to come in handy, whether it be 200 chapters later, whether it be 5 chapters later. So I definitely say that automatically that's Oda foreshadowing. I think there will definitely be a separation. I don't know who. Maybe Law might get captured. Maybe there's going to be a separation between the crew. But there's definitely going to be some sort of separation in the future. And again, it could be 5 chapters from now. It could be 50 chapters from now. It could be 250 chapters from now. So I definitely say that that's already foreshadowing that there's going to be a separation. Now, Kinemon and Momonosuke in this particular chapter, and I've said this in the past, and I continue to kind of get this vibe from them. While they do feel like they're right at home with the Straw Hat crew, I also really feel like this uneasiness with them. There's really something like off about them. And what I mean by that is, like Kinemon, again in this particular chapter, he's like, no, you gotta respect them, they saved us. And he just comes off sometimes as a little too weird, like a little too nice maybe, or something like that, and a little too, I don't know what's the word for it, but definitely Kinemon and Momonosuke, they really just give me this weird vibe, like for the fact that all of a sudden Momonosuke doesn't remember flying. He said, I never fly. Now, maybe that could have been that he was just lying because he didn't want his father to find out for whatever reason. Maybe the person that, they have a grudge against flies or something like that, and he don't want him to think. If there's something like, they're hiding something real big. And again, with this particular chapter, we got another glimpse of that with him. I don't remember flying, Momonosuke. And then at the same time, he's rubbing up on Nami's chest, that goddamn kid. So there's that with this particular chapter. And then another one of the big things I would say is that blind man towards the end of the chapter, which, by the way, his character design, if I had to put a couple characters and say what he kind of looks like, he definitely looks like a mixture of Kizaru and I want to say maybe Silver's Rayleigh, because he kind of got the scar and kind of got like maybe the little oldness from Rayleigh, but then he also has like the facial features of Kizaru. Now, he's a blind man and he's very like crazy. Like, he was like, getting gypped and tricked. And in all honesty, I think that he knew or something like that. I think this guy is a lot wiser, even without his eyes, than people take him for. Like, the fact that he was letting them, maybe he was like trying to trick them, maybe he was trying to see if they would be honest eventually. I don't know what it was. Maybe he was testing them, but when he finds out, like, when Luffy points it out to him, whether it be that, he was playing dumb the entire time and just decided now enough was enough, or whatever the case may be, that power that he used. Now, it seemed as though he pulled out a sword, but then at the same time, all of them, they had like this pressure on them, like they were like being pushed down onto the ground and whatnot. Could it be maybe that he had some sort of sound ability that when he pulled it out, could it be like the pressure of the sound of pulling out the blade from the holder, or what it could have been? I don't know, but that power was incredible. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I can't wait to see where that's from. Why is he blind? Because there was a little message that sometimes it's better like to not see this horrible world. He said something along the lines of like something real ominous and weird, and I think definitely that he's obviously battling vet. Maybe he was he participated in some of the battles on Dressrosa or something along the lines of that. And it was also very odd within this chapter that I forget which character brought it up, but one of the characters brought up that for Dressrosa's king, like basically leaving the throne and giving it up, everyone is pretty normal. Everyone is like, just carrying on as usual, which normally people would be, panicking, like, oh my god, the king is leaving. So the fact that they're not, maybe it's a possibility that Doflamingo has already announced to the citizens that don't worry, things are going to be all right. Maybe it's because these people are just really hardcore because of the battles that go on there. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it definitely is something is odd and something is up. Maybe Doflamingo just warned everyone, or they have some sort of connection with him. As far as what's going on with the whole kingdom thing, because it is odd. Like, why isn't anybody panicking? One of my favorite parts, or one of the funniest parts in here, was just looking at Luffy's reaction when he sees these stuffed toy people. He is just like, And I just looking at Luffy's reaction to this chapter was freaking hilarious. Wish things would have picked up a little bit more. I felt like the pacing in this chapter could have been a lot faster. Like in the beginning, when they're explaining things and we're showing the maps, I'm not a big fan of seeing the map pages. It's all good and everything when they're explaining, but I'm just not that big a fan. So if I had to criticize something about this chapter, it's definitely the beginning. Maybe the pacing could have been a little bit better. But other than that, it was a pretty decent chapter. Not too much happened. They mostly went into the city. They set up groups, which is, it's typical protocol already at this point with One Piece. You already know they're going to go to the island. They're going to separate. Three are going to go here. Two are going to go there. And that's how they do. Also, one thing, is Frankie's hair going to stay like that forever? I mean, what happened to the old Frankie? I miss the old Frankie. I'm just saying, like, now he got two pigtails. Can we get the old Frankie back? I miss that guy. He was amazing. So yeah, that's just my overall thoughts of this particular chapter. It was alright, nothing too crazy or anything like that. Really getting set up. I'm really interested in that blind guy because I think he really has something to do with maybe Dressrosa. Maybe he's the former king of Dressrosa at one given point, and he was denounced from the throne, or maybe Doflamingo took over. But then again, the way they were treating him, it's really hard to say. But I'd say he's definitely a battle vet, and who knows, maybe he even stabbed his own eyes out at disgust of this world. You never know. You always got to think outside the box if you want to get to the truth, especially with One Piece. You got to think outside of the box, outside of the outside of the outside of the box. Yeah, well, that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Thumbs up if you can't wait to see where this is going to go on Dressrosa, because things already are heating up. We already got some crazy guy that's blowing freaking big holes in the ground. And also, my rating for this chapter, I give it 3.5 out of 5. Pretty interesting stuff. Cool comedy here and there, but nothing too crazy going on yet. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.